Okay, so I'm sure most of you have questions like, okay, so what exactly am I going to be working on, and what is the ecosystem like from technology perspective? What am I working on, and all that. So this is a brief presentation, one page. I deliberately kept it to a one page to ensure that we don't really spend so much time talking about the ecosystem, right? I want it to be extremely quicker and shorter for everyone. So pretty much in Zartech, we have a product called BoldAssure, and that's what you and Joseph will be working on, Raf.
Okay.
So BoldAssure, if you go into our social media pages, it's really simple. It's just an AI-powered infrastructure that facilitates digital commerce, inclusive banking, no-code checkout, payments, and payout globally. So I know it's a very short statement, but it entails a lot, right? I would kind of spend time to take some questions if you guys have any. But basically, if you look at BoldAssure, how it's currently set up, it has a website. So if you look at the diagram, you have the BoldAssure website, and it has a console, which is so I'll talk briefly on the website. The website is pretty much our landing page. That's where our customers can go to read more and learn more about BoldAssure. We have the BoldAssure console. The console is a cPanel or back office dashboard where customers or users can log in and then do transactions and monitor transactions, so on and so forth. We have the BoldAssure mobile app. The mobile app, as you all know, is also another digital access channel where customers can use to access the platform. We have the BoldAssure storefront. By the way, as you know, we indicated we want to operate as a digital commerce. So we have merchants that do buying and selling, they sell their products and services. And so there's a storefront that allows their customers to purchase using BoldAssure gateway services. So we have a payment gateway, we'll talk about that later. We have the BoldAssure checkout. So the checkout is pretty much as in when customers are buying from merchants, they have to check out their product. Think of it like any e-commerce platform. You go, you put items in your cart and you check out, right? But BoldAssure powers the checkout process. The payment gateway to checkout and everything is handled by BoldAssure. So that's the digital channels that we currently have. So we have the website, the console, the mobile app, the storefront, and then the checkout. Now, on top of this, what really powers everything you see at the top layer, which is our digital access channels, is our microservice and then the backend infrastructure, right? So we have an edge gateway where all your interactions to BoldAssure, whether you are a developer working from the app or you're working from the console, all your calls will be coming through our edge gateway. The edge gateway is fronted with an elastic load balancer, and it handles the authentication, the encryption in transit, which is the SSL or TLS layer. It has a Swagger, and I'm sure most of you have worked with API documentation tools. So Swagger is one of them that we have where our APIs are documented using Swagger. So if you want to learn more about the API and do a live test and all that, Swagger can handle that. So security, SSL, encryption in transit, everything is handled at the edge gateway. Behind the edge gateway, we have the gateway groups. So we have a bunch of APIs that we have grouped into different categories. So if you look at the kind of API that you encounter, you have API like account. It's account group kind of categorize every activity related to the user account. And you can come across an API which is called, say, UniWallet, which handles technically all the payment gateway related activities. We have a marketplace API, which is like an API layer that handles activities like checkout, merchant listing, and so on and so forth. Beneath the API grouping, we have a bunch of services. Some are very cloud native. We leverage AWS and Microsoft Azure to run these services, including even all the presentation layer, the digital channel access. You see everything runs on the cloud. So we have a bunch of services. Some are running as container as a service. Some are running as serverless functions. We have webhooks that are all running as serverless functions. We have a PubSub model using, so if you're familiar with messaging technologies like Kafka or SQS, we leverage a lot of native cloud infrastructure to power our services. So if you think of BoldAssure, it is a digital commerce platform. We facilitate transactions. So I can take each of them at a time and then we can go through. So for instance, if we think of digital commerce, think about merchants who are trying to sell their items. It could be a product or a service. What we provide them is a platform where they can create their business and then give their customers a personalized experience, right? So they don't need to go and build their own dashboard and a website. They can leverage BoldAssure to do that. The no-code checkout is the ability that we give them. So once they have been able to set up their store on BoldAssure, they can be able to list their products, whatever service they want to sell, and then they can literally allow their customers to check out, and their customers will have an experience which is so personalized and it's customized to the particular merchant, right? So we are not there. We only power the infrastructure and then the transaction on top of that infrastructure. So payments. So if you think payment, think about bill payment, utility payment, electricity payment, everything that you have to do. Let's say you pay your premiums to insurance companies. We can facilitate all that kind of payment. Payouts is also very interesting. It has to do with transfers, cross-border transfers, like me wanting to send money to Ghana to my family or to send money to pay an employee in Nigeria or Benin. So those are some of the things that you would see us working on. I'm going to pause here now. I've spoken a lot and take some questions if you guys have any for me.
No questions on my end. I'm good.
All right. Looks like you guys made this session very easy. You sure you have no questions at all? Nothing? You all good?
Yeah.
Feel free. I mean, there's nothing like a wrong question. Anything that you want to clarify? Anything that you're thinking about?
Okay, so I think for me that would be is the BoldAssure mobile app, is it live?
BoldAssure mobile app is not live.
Okay.
So literally that will be a work from ground app. BoldAssure console is live. We have a production environment for that. Yeah. Of course, I have to also mention for each of the applications you see, we will have a production and non-production environment, right? So typically when you see NPE, that's non-prod environment. So yeah, so BoldAssure website is there. It's not the best it's not the most fanciest website you will see today. That's something that we would want to enhance and bring it to become a modern platform. The console is also live. Website is live. Mobile app is still in flight, and that's where we need a lot of your help. So we'll need a lot of your support on the console and the app. Storefront is not live. It's also in flight. The checkout is live. So as you can see, we have some of them in flight, some are in live. Yeah, and you get to know most of them as you start digging into the code. Yeah.
Sounds good.
That's a good question. Any other question, follow-ups, clarifications that you guys have? All right, and then I wouldn't want to take any more of your time, so we can definitely close this session. I'll share the reference, this particular diagram, in our Teams channel, so each and every one of you can have access to it. And then pretty much, if you have any follow-up questions in the future, you can be able to send me a message or ask Asidine, or I'm also going to make sure this recording is accessible on our digital channels, so you can always kind of, if you have to review it, you can always go back and review it. But other than that, thank you so much. This has been a very quick session. I know it's getting late on your side, so we didn't want to take much of your time.
Okay, yeah, thank you so much as well.
Right, okay. Good night, and thank you so much.
Okay, all right.